Hello, hello. Welcome to the Hoops Rehab show on a Wednesday night, NBA Cup night, and a big Lakers loss. How you doing, Eric?
It was good. It was good. Pretty good day until about 7 p.m., 7:30 or so. Where if you're watching the Laker game, it was an ugly one to say the least, which I know we'll get into big time. Oh, we even got was that
We
wine or
we
what is that?
we got the wine tonight because
Oh, it's
we,
that
we
kind of
gotta
night,
talk.
huh?
We gotta talk about the Lakers being exposed, Eric.
Oh,
We're gonna be talking about that. We're gonna dive into that, kind of dive into the NBA Cup and kind of what the future holds for this Lakers squad. All right, everybody. I am the Game Injury Doc, aka Dr. Evan Jeffries. On my right is Eric B. Mack. We are the hosts of the Hoops Rehab Show. You can find us at our YouTube page. So if you're there right now, please hit that subscribe button if you're in the live. You can also find us on our Instagram page as well. And then if you're looking for our individual handles, I am the Game Injury Doc. You can find me on all social media platforms. And Eric B. Mack, you can find him on all social media platforms as well. And tomorrow we'll be uploading the pod wherever you get your pod. It's the Hoops Rehab Show. All right, Eric, let's
sir.
get this show cracking. So, going into tonight, you know that OKC whooped the shit out of the team they played earlier. We don't even need to kind of talk about that, but we obviously knew what they were going to do against Phoenix. Now, Lakers had what I call the next version of OKC, the San Antonio Spurs, without Wemby, and they get pretty much blown out. What were your thoughts, Eric?
Yeah, first game, kind of what you expected between OKC and basically any team, and so it was lining up for a showdown in Vegas between Lakers and OKC, and it was probably something that everybody wanted to see. The NBA wanted to see. The NBA wants to put up some numbers in terms of this NBA Cup, and I'm sure there's got to be some disappointment now because even though those are the two up and coming teams, I mean, obviously, if Wemby was playing it, or well, maybe I guess you never know. I don't want to say he's not because but if he is, that'd be pretty cool. But anywho, yeah, for the Lakers themselves, so I know we're gonna kind of break it down, but it reminded me of their game against Phoenix. So they played that home game against Phoenix before they went to those 3 games on the road, and very similar. Just obviously kind of started off neck and neck. They took a blow from Phoenix like they did San Antonio, got down double digits, just never really had a chance after that. And it was just run and gun, athleticism, just point of attack. They basically they did everything they wanted to, and Lakers just couldn't do much to stop it.
Yeah, I know that LeBron throws off the Lakers' age, and they're really relatively a pretty young team.
Yeah, they
Thing
are.
is, the Lakers look old as shit. Like they look slow. They look at times, sometimes uninterested in guarding the perimeter. So I don't know if that was one of these games where it's like, hey, are we going to put that much effort because maybe we don't want to play some extra games in Vegas? Possibly.
Right.
However, they just didn't look good against the young guards of San Antonio, who pretty much can get any shot anytime they wanted to. Started off with Johnson in the first quarter, and then De'Aaron Fox and Stephen Castle handling the business in third and fourth quarters. So I think we have a huge problem on our hands as far as perimeter defense, and then also just allowing these quick guards to pretty much beat most of our guards off the dribble. And when you think of our starting backcourt, Eric, I know we talked about them being one of the most
I know.
dynamic duos in this league. We got really high on them in the beginning. But what was always the issue or something that was going to be an issue moving forward, Eric?
It was going to be defense. It was going to be facing guys with athleticism, and so yeah, we obviously got on our high horse, and we were, obviously they're still a really good duo, Luca. And I mean, obviously Luca's a phenomenal player, and AR is kind of coming into his own. But we got to think about, and as far as duos go, like for example, Tatum and Brown, like they wouldn't. It's not even close, in terms of those two, right? Just because they do it on both sides. I know Tatum's injured right now. But yeah, it's it I don't know. I think as we knew this, right? I mean, it's not a big surprise. It's just that when Lakers are 17-6 and off to a hot start, it kind of hides some of those deficiencies. And I honestly I didn't realize it as much, but Lakers bench is just really bad. They have I don't know if it's because like there's just guys like Vando that just doesn't play anymore.
Yeah.
I think Ake has been a big disappointment. I honestly can't see. I expected like the world from him. I didn't even know his name until I saw the Lakers signed him. I'll be honest. But you just kind of have high hopes. He's been a bust so far in terms of like what he could bring to the team, and so it's obviously we don't want to go too crazy on one game, but there are some red flags, and it's happened against Phoenix and San Antonio, the last two home games.
Jared Vanderbilt was the only player that didn't get into tonight's game. Obviously, there's some garbage minute for these guys, but he is so far in the doghouse.
Did he play against Boston? I didn't even think about that game, like where they just had nobody.
I believe
in that blowout. I pray.
I don't think he's played in like I think 8, 9 straight games. Like literally just not playing at all for the Lakers right now. And we got to remember he has a pretty significant contract for the Lakers. I think he had an extension for what, $48 to $52 million. So we're paying him $12 to $14 million.
Kind of jumped the gun on that one.
We're worried about defenders, and he's one of our defenders, but somehow he can't play because of offensive liability. So I think that's one of the big issues. Now, if I'm going to rank the biggest issues that we have, man, I don't want to say what. Yeah, I'm going to say it. We have one guy that can play defense on this team.
Yeah.
Marcus Smart. I mean,
yeah, that was the only time that they were in the game when he was in there.
As a on-ball defender, we have Marcus Smart. I don't think Luka is obviously a great defender. I don't think Austin Reeves, we've challenged him over the years, and as the season goes on, he kind of gets worn out, and it's hard for him to kind of stay with guards. LeBron is 41 years old in the end of this month, right? Yeah. So I can't really count him as our defender. He doesn't have the speed to kind of stay with people. Rui has to guard smaller guys, and he's as big as LeBron. Like he can't keep up with some of these smaller guys. So when you got San Antonio, who puts out 4 guards essentially in this lineup with Cornet at center, it's pretty damn hard to guard. And that's what OKC is doing too with their lineup. So teams like that are just going to give the Lakers hell unless we do something about it. With some sort of trade at some point. I think they're going to have to fix this situation. What do you say?
Yeah. Like, I'll get to that in a second because I was thinking about the trade thing too. But yes, if you watch today's game, the only time Lakers you felt were kind of in it, and they were kind of battling was with Marcus Smart in the lineup. And if you're depending on Marcus Smart, I mean, he's already hasn't been able to get through a season, right? He's missed a lot of games. Like to get through a full season, play 35 minutes, be the only guy kind of I don't want to say give it a damn because I really truly don't think, for example, like Austin Reeves, it's like a lack of effort. I don't know. I just don't know if he has a skill set to be kind of like that on the ball defender. And you can tell he gets, when he's on defense, they go after him, a little bit of Luka too. But yeah, the traits, back kind of to the trade situation. I don't know. Like they do need one. It just depends on, the Lakers brass, like probably when you're kind of getting close to the deadline, maybe halfway point. Like, do they feel like this team is like a player away from ultimately competing to at least have a chance to make the conference finals and maybe finals? That's where they're going to have to like look at the mirror and just kind of really decide on that before they, obviously mortgage draft picks and things like that. Like, are they truly a player like that away? And so obviously at 17-7 now, and they've played pretty good against inferior opponents and things like that. Like, but that's going to be what for the Lakers to decide. And is there that guy out there too? That's another thing.
Yeah, is there going to be someone available? Is it the right guy? But if I were to ask you, where do you think the Lakers rank in defensive efficiency? Where do you think they rank right now?
To be honest, I think I may have. I don't know if it was efficiency, but heard on something on the radio this morning. Are they about 20th?
Yeah, they're 20th in the league,
Yeah.
next to Portland, Milwaukee, Chicago. I mean, and as you go down, those are some pretty bad teams there. Denver is surprisingly about 19th, so that's kind of where they lie right there. But
Yeah.
in general, I don't think as the season wears on and our guys get a little more tired, LeBron gets older, the season wears on Luca a little bit because he's having to take brunt of the offense. And then you can see kind of in the last 2 games, last 3 games, that AR has had to do so much over these last 10 games that
Yeah.
he's starting to get fatigued. And you can see with his shot, things are off. Um, I don't know if their defense is getting much better unless they make a change.
Yeah. Yeah. AR has been, excuse me, AR has been off. Luca had like kind of like a Luca offensive, kind of night like he normally does. It just, I don't know. To me, it just wasn't, for whatever reason, didn't feel like impactful as much. I don't know. I mean, I was going to say he probably didn't get many assists. He got 8 assists, not bad. But I don't know. I think was everybody tonight that just wasn't as impactful other than Marcus Smart. And so, Reeves, yes, he's been the one guy that's basically been there the whole season. And I mean, we're not like totally deep into the year, but I guess from a regular season standpoint, right? Like the thought is if you would have won tonight, probably a really good chance you were going to lose on Saturday to OKC. So that's 1-1. If you could somehow win at Phoenix on Sunday night, I believe that's what the game is going to be. It's going to be Phoenix, and I believe it's over there, and I believe it's Sunday. Then if you can get that game, which I don't know if they will, but if they do, that they're 1-1 as well. So other than like the whole NBA Cup, which it's people are going to say it means something, or others are going to say not. But big picture, maybe this rest, maybe playing Sunday, then I believe Wednesday would be the next game after at Utah. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe it's a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, I mean, I think the break is needed for this team, and I think they'll benefit from it in general. I wanted to, selfishly want to see him play against OKC and see what kind of how they match up and kind of get to Vegas and all that stuff. But when you look at the totality of this team and LeBron and all these guys kind of going through it, it's probably good they get a little tiny break there, kind of play Phoenix. They're still 17-7. They're obviously not a bad team. But I think when it comes down to these young guards and offensive efficiency teams, they're going to have to figure a way to get some stops. And like you said, like when you look down at the bench, you're like, who are you depending on besides Marcus Smart? Like,
yeah, I mean, you would hope Laravia was going to be something.
Possibly.
Gabe Vincent has been just not good on the Lakers. I'm sorry. I mean, he just was not they fell in love with his, playoff performance that he had that year. And sometimes you got to realize that guys have those kind of playoffs and just know that look at the track record, right? He had some injuries too. So it's not all just, him, but I think we could honestly say in his 3 years so far, like he's just not been very good. Right.
Yeah. I think we've tried, he's healthy last year. He had some good moments where he can play good defense, but I just think because he's such a shorter guard, that he just gets exposed by some of these bigger guards, and then it just kind of defeats the whole purpose of having him out there, right? Especially if he's not making his jumpers on a regular basis. So when you look at that, you got Marcus Smart, you got Laravia, you got Gabe Vincent, but really only you're depending on Marcus Smart at this point. And then from that point on, you're Jackson Hayes is coming off the bench, but that's just giving you 10 to 15 minutes. I did want to note, though, did you notice that DeAndre Ayton wasn't really on the bench in the fourth quarter? Because I felt like he either went to the locker room. I remember him leaving in the towards the end of the third quarter. He got like, I don't know if he got banged up or something. He started limping a little bit, and then you just never saw him again. So I would imagine we'll hear something about this in the next hour or two to see if there was any issue with that. But did you hear of anything?
Didn't hear anything, but I kind of noticed like it was like he didn't see him on the floor, and so okay, wanted to look at the minutes. So he played about 26.
Yeah, he definitely
Imagine it's
didn't play the fourth. So
yeah, didn't play the fourth, so he probably would normally get 30, 32 minutes. Yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. I noticed, yeah, like during that kind of mini run, I guess at the end, he was not in there. And then, as you said, the whole fourth. So we'll have to see if it's a kind of injury based or what's going on. He looked decent to start the game, but just kind of got taken out of the game really with what San Antonio was doing.
yeah, for sure. And what are your thoughts on the Spurs team? Like, obviously, they didn't have Wemby tonight, and I was gonna kind of touch on that a little bit. I do believe Wemby has a chance to play against OKC because he pretty much went through a full workout before this game. They said he looked good. It was just a matter of making sure his calf responds well tomorrow and the next day. So they just didn't want to rush him back for tonight. But he probably, if I had to take a guess, he's probably questionable for the matchup on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, I know we had our like top 6 prediction at the beginning of the season, and I really wanted to put him in there. I just had a feeling coming into the season they were going to be kind of like what Houston was last year or OKC a couple years back, where you just make that huge leap versus like maybe being a borderline play-in team to maybe a 5, 6, 7 seed, something like that. And so it's going to be so tight. So you never know, a couple losses here or there, you could be that. But yeah, I had just a strong feeling that they were going to be pretty damn good this year. And so they're a little early, and I think they're going to ultimately get a decent seed and probably be like a early to kind of mid-round kind of playoff exit, probably a year away. But yeah, they got more draft picks coming up. Very kind of similar. We're not as many picks as OKC, but they obviously got the studs, the superstars. But at the end of the day, I think it's going to be on the health of Wembanyama, right?
Yeah, he needs to stay healthy.
Yeah,
right. Obviously last year with the blood clot, that kind of came out of nowhere, and he's been relatively healthy for the most part.
yeah.
Then this calf strain came out of, he hasn't really had major injuries, right? So hopefully he can get it together, continue the rest of the season, kind of play throughout the season, and kind of build this chemistry with the team because their guard play. I mean, think about what De'Aaron Fox has been doing without him, right? Because he didn't get a chance to play with him yet because De'Aaron was still coming back. He's averaging 25, easy 25 a night. Like his fluidity, like his ability to score is just easy.
He wasn't there the first time Lakers played
yeah, exactly.
San Antonio this season. So
yeah. And then you got Stephen Castle. If Stephen Castle is making threes, he's a problem, right? His biggest knock right now is he can't really shoot from the outside that well. But if he starts making that, then you got a guard there, you got a guard here, you got Best of Cell, you got all these guys that are
Keldon Johnson was just like
Keldon Johnson off the bench. So you got a lot of interchangeable guards and forwards that I think can really give some teams problems. And to me, they're a team that you don't want to play when you get into the playoffs at this point. Like they're gonna be young, they're gonna be hungry, and kind of have nothing to lose in terms of the playoffs. And so they're gonna play very loose. And then if you have Wemby on the floor, potentially probably could get 30 to 40 at any point, take over a game. That's gonna be a serious problem in the playoffs for a team.
Oh yeah. I mean, they do, like, other than experience, have it all. You got, obviously they do have some experience with like a Barnes, right? I'm gonna say Matt Barnes, but Harrison Barnes, right?
Yeah.
Where he's definitely has some championship pedigree and he's solid. But yeah, they will be a problem. Maybe it's because it's De'Aaron Fox. Like I'm thinking of like, you know, Sacramento a few years ago. I think they will definitely won't fizzle out like Sacramento has. But if it's kind of like an older team or whatever, if you will, playing them, it's going to be really, really tough. And so I know it slows down in the playoffs, right? It's a little different than a regular season matchup where you play sometimes back to back, or you play one team, then you play another team, and you just get to have a bad night here and there. It's going to be different, but yeah, they are kind of exceeding expectation. That's for sure.
Yeah, their time is now, and yeah, they're probably a season or two away from really, really contending, but
Yeah.
they definitely are going to have some problems in the playoffs for teams.
Yep.
Now, let's see. We got a little comment here from neutral 6941. With LeBron and Luca, the Lakers should have won. Yeah, I mean that's a statement to make, right? Obviously, you have LeBron and Luca, and you got superstars on a team, but doesn't mean you're gonna win every single night. And when you're playing against a young team that's got huge guard play like San Antonio does, it's gonna be a problem athletically for the Lakers.
Yep.
The last thing I wanted to get to before we kind of move on to the NBA Cup is, who is your ideal person if they were to make a trade?
You know, there's let me see here. Obviously, we talked about Andrew Wiggins, right? I mean, that's kind of like ideally who, I don't know. I mean, obviously, Miami's having a pretty decent season, and I don't know how crazy they will be about trading him. But let me see. Who's the guy on Sacramento, I believe? Sacramento. Let me go to them really quick. Keon Ellis, right?
Oh yeah, guard.
Keon Ellis. Is that who I was thinking of? Just kind of, you know, like some uh two-way kind of player, right? Some athleticism, long. I mean, 6'4", so he's not, you know, crazy tall. I mean, I'm just thinking of, I mean, you know, it's not going to be this big splash, right? So they're going to have to get like a little bit unique or kind of
Yeah.
a creative, I should say. I know that was a name that was floating around
Okay.
earlier today. Wiggins. Have you kind of heard anything else or?
Yeah, I mean, it's somebody I brought up, I think, on a month. I forgot when it was, whatever show we were talking about. But to me, the most ideal player for Lakers to get is a Herb Jones, like somebody like that from New Orleans, where
Yeah, we've talked
you have
about.
a athletic wing defender that can shoot the three, essentially 3 and D. He's young, he's athletic. Um, I think he would fit very well with this team. Now, I think we're gonna have to make a decision with Rui. I love what Rui brings to this team, and I love his ability to shoot the ball. But I think defensively is where we're gonna have trouble with him when it gets to the playoffs. I just don't think he's going to be able to defend at a high enough level to stay on the court when we need him. And that's somebody like Herb Jones, I think would be ideal if you had Herb Jones and Marcus Smart on the court. I think that would be a pretty good combo there.
Yeah, yeah. I think we've talked. Yeah, you've talked about him. We've talked about him in a show before, and so it's going to be potentially a team that's kind of going nowhere. Maybe they're wanting to trade assets, and so yeah, if like a name like that, I think will pay dividends. It obviously, you know, gives a little bit of depth, something they don't have. I mean, that's another thing too, is just 3-point shooting as well. You know, it's even though the Lakers are pretty offensively, they're pretty damn good. But just nights that like they're just not hitting that three ball we see every once in a while, that's kind of a tricky time for them too. So if he can do that, some more kind of just wing defense, yeah, they're gonna have to get creative because there's gonna be other teams that are gonna want some of these guys too. And so, but yeah, it's a little, I don't know. It's like, it's tough to, you don't want to make any like big moves. They've had a decent season so far, a good season. But it's like, do you got to take somebody from that starting lineup and put them on the bench just to kind of have some flexibility there? I don't know.
Yeah. Now, who would you take out of the starting lineup right now? Would it be Rui? Would it be anybody else?
Well, I know it's weird because it's like the candidate would be Rui, but I don't know if he's just going to be like what we would want off the bench either. I mean, he's had a pretty good season, so I'm not trying to say really much like, negativity about him.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like, is he going to be that like 6 man off the bench like that we would want? Probably not. I know there's been some talks about Austin Reeves, and I don't think that's going to happen. But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think as long as the Lakers keep winning, they'll be fine with all those talks. But if they start losing some more games, they'll start talking about this combo of Luka, Austin, and LeBron. Can they actually coexist on the floor together when you need it? Right. So, like, I think you might have issues with that kind of lineup just because they all do similar things. And so I think I mean, right now, the way Austin's playing, it's hard to bring him off the bench. Obviously, we thought about it in the past where it's like, all right, you bring that spark plug off the bench, but he's playing so well. It's hard to move him to the bench right now and play that, Ginobili type of role, right? Where, he's technically a starter, but he comes off the bench and plays starter minutes, right? So that takes a huge effort on the player's standpoint, mental component to kind of do that. And I don't know if you want to do that with Austin Reeves right now, especially the way he's been playing.
Yeah, I mean, Ginobili, he kind of started like his career off the bench, and it just basically that was his whole career, right?
Yeah.
So for Reeves, he has been a starter for some time now.
Yeah.
Sorry, I lost my voice a little bit there, but
Yeah.
I think see how the next 10 games or so go, right?
Yeah.
Go from
Yeah. I think, in all reality, we're still getting used to playing. The Lakers are still getting used to playing with LeBron again, right? Because LeBron was out for all that time. To start the season with the sciatica. So now they're still getting adjusted. LeBron is finally, since that Philly game, it seems like he's got that win. He's got that game shape. He's got a little better step. He had that obviously monster dunk tonight, which was pretty ridiculous. So I think he's getting that athletic ability back. He still looks slow on his first step, but I just think that is where he's going to be at. That is 40, 41 years old in this league. Still better than most players in the league, but he has lost the first step with that. So I think as they grow and they learn to play with him again and with this new kind of collective team, they'll be fine. But overall, I don't think this team is a team that can stay pat and do nothing. Like they're going to have to add somebody in a trade. And I think that's going to come with either Vando leaving this team, obviously, a Gabe Vincent, possibly like Rui, Connect, some of that combo of players to get us another player that could pay dividends.
Yeah, fortunately, a guy like Rui is probably like the main guy of value, right? Other than some draft pick assets, those names you listed. I mean, maybe if a team feels like they can kind of get the most out of those guys, maybe, perhaps. But yeah, I mean, they're gonna have to do something. Kind of going back to LeBron a bit, like I feel like we have to stop with like the throwing a Hail Mary to him. I think like it's just crazy. Like I've seen it a few times since he's been back, and it's just never as successful. And so, but yeah, I mean, the last couple of games, he's definitely got a little bit more of a pep to his step. But we'll see. I think this time, as I said, maybe it could be a good thing. So I think I saw they play Sunday, and then they don't play till Thursday at Utah, and then I believe at Clippers on Saturday, and then back to at Phoenix on Tuesday, which is kind of weird. But
so not too bad of a schedule there.
Yeah, so a little kind of mini all-star kind of break that, right before the Christmas game and the New Year comes.
Yeah. And when you look at their schedule, I mean, they still haven't played Denver yet. They haven't played Houston yet.
Yep.
Um, so there's
Okay,
some
see three
teams.
more times, Spurs
Yeah,
three
so
more
you got the
times.
OC. You got Minnesota. So there's some teams they just haven't played yet, and it's gonna be interesting to see how they stack up to like the Denvers and the Houstons. I feel like they
Yeah,
they probably match up better with like a Houston um, than
I got a
say the
feeling too.
OKC, San Antonio, and kind of Denver matchups there. So be kind of interesting to see as the season goes. But here we are, and you got to move on and get ready for the next game.
Yeah, I think they're going to be all right against like some of those like kind of methodical. I mean, I'd throw maybe even Denver in there. I mean, we'll see it. We'll have to actually see it, but I think they could maybe like kind of hang in with the Denver, hang in with Houston, like you
Yeah,
said, teams like that. Not saying that they're better than them; they'll beat them. I just think if we're gonna see some of those games are going to be different than what we saw like a game against San Antonio tonight. And so yeah, but yeah, it would have been fun to just see OKC. Not
yeah.
that
I
you
mean,
want to play them, but it just in Vegas it would have been neutral, obviously neutral, arena,
yeah.
and would have been fun. But Lakers just got work tonight.
Yeah, interesting thing. And what did OKC win by? 50 points? Oh no, 49 points.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So,
Nobody played in the fourth like usual. I mean, it's like
all
crazy.
right, should we do a drum roll for the NBA Cup champion?
Yeah. Do we really
Is
have to? Am I gonna go on a limb here or what?
Who do you think, Eric, is going to win the NBA Cup at this point?
So I think if the Thunder end up at like let's say 73-9, tied with the Warriors' best record, they're actually going to have an extra win because they're going to play an 83rd game. And yes, I again not going out on a limb, but I'm thinking it'll be maybe Knicks and OKC. With the Thunder did make it to the championship game last year and lost to Milwaukee.
Yeah,
So they'll probably just handle business and win it all
yeah.
or win the.
That would be interesting though if they play that extra game and then they get to the point where they're like 73-9 and it's like they actually are 74-9. But
Yeah.
that's the way it goes. I understand you can't add an extra game there. Now,
Yep.
I do give the Spurs a little chance if they get back Wemby for Saturday. I feel like this is a team that can match up well with OKC because they're almost a copy of OKC, except for
Yeah.
defensively. I don't think I don't think San Antonio is near what OKC does on defense. Obviously,
No,
probably
yeah.
one of the
Honestly, yeah.
best defensive teams we've seen in a long, long, long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they can give them a little bit of run. But other than that, I don't think OKC is losing a damn game. They've won 16 in a row. They're probably going to win 18 in a row and get the NBA Cup there.
Yeah, I was looking to see if I don't think they've played each other yet so far. Who did OKC lose to again? Oh, at Portland, random. But yeah, I think that will be it'll be a fun matchup, especially if Wemby plays. But hard to go against a team that is as dominant. I mean, obviously it's just one game. You could have a bad game, and it wouldn't be the craziest surprise ever. But I'm pretty sure Thunder are going to win it.
Yeah, it would be fun to see them play the Knicks. Like I like that matchup. I kind of like it's kind
Yeah,
of what we wanted to see last year.
in the
Even
finals.
though the Pacers it went 7
Yeah,
games, a freaking amazing finals, and obviously the Pacers had crazy momentum with Tyrese until he obviously went down. But it'd be kind of cool to see because I feel like the Knicks are going to be in contention to get to the finals this year. Obviously, they're going to be one of the top 3 teams in the East. Also, did you know that Boston is number 3 right now, Eric?
you're saying that early. I mean, It's crazy. I mean, I think we had them in a top 6 kind of thing. Thought they would be better than probably what team people thought, but yeah, they're playing. I mean, they obviously was a very short-handed Laker team, but they've been playing pretty damn good. They're just coached. They're just a really good organization, just kind of doing the right things. Obviously, they need, I believe, a Tatum to kind of make some noise ultimately. But
you saw some of the video of Tatum in practice.
Oh yeah,
he's 7 months and he's putting on some 1-on-1, 2-on-2 drills and looking pretty damn good out there for being 7 months post-op. So if I didn't think Boston would be this good this early, right?
Yeah.
I thought maybe, hey, by January, February, maybe they're hanging around that 6th seed. Maybe they're in the play-in picture. But if you get to January, February, and they are a top 3-4 team in the East, and they can, and let's see, so that would put about 9-10 months post-op, and if everything's going well, he's passing all the tests, you bring added Tatum for the next 2 months, that's a team that can get to the finals.
That'll be very interesting, and that's what we all thought. Like, when there is like a possibility of him coming back, like where is Boston going to be at, like in the standings? Is it like if they were going to be in play-in territory, is it really kind of worth it? But if they're still pretty damn good and Tatum is like has the all clear, shit, you never know.
Yeah, I mean, they rank 3rd right now in offensive efficiency, so they're obviously doing the things that they need to do offensively with this lineup that they have. A lot of guards, a lot of interchangeable pieces, and they're obviously shooting the hell of the ball like they always do. They shoot a lot of threes, right? So when they got the threes going, they're on, and they play pretty aggressive on defense. So it'd be interesting to see how the rest of the season kind of shakes up with that. But until then, we got the NBA Cup on Saturday and got the finals on Monday. So it'll be kind of interesting. And now we know that the Lakers are playing on Sunday, which is a nice little break for them. So, got anything else before we get out of here, Eric?
No, that's it. Just disappointing. I was hoping to see them get to Saturday in OKC, and who knows how that would have looked. But yeah, I totally expected Lakers to win tonight. So back to the drawing board. Was not good. Hasn't been good for a little bit now, at home at least. And so we'll see what happens on Sunday.
Yeah, hopefully they get back on track on Sunday. But until then, you guys, we are out. Hoops Rehab team is out, guys. Peace out.
Peace out, everyone.